Here, I got you over here.
Got him here? Okay.
Yeah.
You just give me a thumbs up when we're
All right,
good.
5, 4.
Hello, bonjour, I'm MJ Hickox with Leopold's Cafe today, just south of Bordeaux, France, in the beautiful region of Sauternes. Sauternes is a geographical region, as well as an appellation after which the wine is named. It's a very special and rare style of wine, oftentimes referred to as noble rot wine, meaning it's left with botrytis on the grape, which is a type of vineyard fungus that dehydrates the grape and allows it to develop very complex fruit notes of pitted fruits such as nectarine, honey, and spices. So the rich notes of this wine pair beautifully with spicy food as the sweetness tempers the heat on the palate. But this particular wine also provides an acidic balance to very rich and flavorful dishes. Serve this wine super cold for a refreshing and indulgent sipper. Cheers.
All right, Madison, welcome to Cooking with the Cap Times on this lovely August evening. Thank you so much for hanging out a little bit. We're just doing a little bit of adjusting with the sound and we're good to go. So let's dive into Cooking with the Cap Times with Chef Joslyn Mink of the Settle Down Tavern and our food editor, Lindsay Christians. I'm going to pass it off in just one sec. I want to thank our sponsors really quick who help make this event series possible. We have our official kitchen sponsor where we are this evening at Kessenix. You can come and shop like a chef at Kessenix because they're open to the public. So stop by. You'll find some really cool things here from this.
I love this thing.
Okay, you'll find good stuff here. I mean, this, I don't know. We settle down, maybe. We'll get a gift in the mail. So you can shop like a chef here at Kessenix. And then we have Leopold's Books Bar Cafe is our official wine pairing sponsor. Tonight they have chosen a sweet dessert wine from France that is going to be paired with the dish. So our in-person audience will get to taste that later on. Yeah, you guys at home, thank you so much for joining. Our in-person audience, they are Cap Times members. So if you'd like to join us in person at a future Cooking with the Cap Times event, you can go to membership.captimes.com. You can give any amount to support our newsroom and become a member, and then you'll get those invites to join us here in person. I think that's all I've got. I should tease, we have Cap Times Idea Fest coming up. It is going to be happening September 12th to the 19th. 12th to the 18th. It starts September 12th. That's all you need to know. Cooking with the Cap Times, I think, kicks it off that same day.
Yeah, we kick off on that Monday.
And do you want to tease who our
Yeah,
chef is?
it's going to be Joe Pavich from the Harvey House. And we're making a beautiful whitefish dish, I believe.
Yum, yeah.
It's going to be great. Yeah.
Yum. And you can go to captimesideafest.com. You'll see it's a free registration to register for next month's events. It'll be a little bit different. You'll register through Cap Times Idea Fest to join us virtually for that event, or you can join us in person if you're a member. And then tomorrow it kicks off Madison Old Fashioned Week. So you can go, woohoo, drinks! I should have brought some in for you guys. I'm sorry, I dropped the ball. You can go to captimes.com and find more information about all the participating locations, and that's also where you can vote. Just scroll to the bottom of the homepage under Cap Times events to see more about that. I think that's all I've got. So I'm going to pass it off to Lindsay, who is one of Wisconsin's foremost food critics and writers.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hi, Jocelyn.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So, first of all, I just was hoping you could introduce yourself a little bit to folks. Like, where do you cook? How did you get into cooking?
So I'm currently the kitchen director at Settle Down Tavern in downtown Madison. And I got into cooking during college. I was living in a co-op, and one of my tasks was to make dinner for 8 to 10 people once a week, and soon realized it was my favorite part of my week and just started collecting cookbooks and learning as much as I could and teaching myself more and more advanced things. And then once I graduated, I found a job with Underground. And now I'm at Settle Down.
Yeah. So at Settle Down Tavern downtown.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you sort of learned to cook in a co-op. Were there cookbooks that were formative for you that really changed the way that you cook and how you learned?
Yeah, definitely. There's it was called, like, the vegetarian epicure was definitely big.
Oh, Anna Thomas?
Yeah, Anna Thomas. That was my favorite because it was like laid out by meals.
Yes.
So it really
love
helped
that.
me with like pairing things, and she was inspired by lots of different cuisines, and definitely used a lot of seasonal produce. So that definitely was a big inspiration. Momofuku then
Oh my
was
gosh,
like
yeah.
the next, like, blew my mind. Like more chefy recipes, a little bit more technical, and just a lot of cookbooks.
Nice.
Too many cookbooks. In fact, it was really, it was an important time for me.
I don't believe in too many cookbooks.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
I think that more is always better.
No, it's good.
But that's amazing. Also, plug for Anna Thomas's Love Soup. It's so good. It's
Yes.
the just most wonderful soup cookbook, and I love it.
Yes.
So, but tonight we're making.
It's got a mind of its own.
Okay.
At one point, I tried to make it stop beeping, and I like tried to just stop the beeping, and I turned the whole thing off. In the middle of the show.
Mike, we should be good to go.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank
Cool.
you for
Sorry about that, everybody.
Yeah. So just a generous, very
She's been doing
generous.
oil this
I've been
entire
doing
time,
this
you guys.
the whole time. A lot of olive oil. And then we're gonna also, similarly, a nice generous shower of kosher salt. And I've got some peeled and sliced garlic. It smells really good.
It does. It makes this whole area smell wonderful.
And then we've got rosemary.
This is
Just
the most
crazy.
massive rosemary
Yeah,
ever.
aggressively growing rosemary. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna take off.
Yeah.
It's gonna like Willy
Then
Wonka
we're
in
gonna
the
throw it
chocolate
in the
factory,
oven
just take off.
for 45 minutes to an hour. I'm just gonna coat this around, make sure everything touches that oil, even the herbs, just so they don't get too much color.
All right, I'm gonna go on your other side here.
Okie doke.
I feel like rosemary always has a little bit of a Christmassy smell. It's kind of piney.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Looks like we do have
It's like
one
an
question
IPA.
from home.
Yeah.
Carol said, we have a bag of organic yellow flint corn polenta milled on November 17th, 2021. It's been in our cupboard for about 9 months. Do we dare use it for this recipe, or should we just bite the bullet and buy a fresh bag?
I think give it a whiff. I think it'll be fine, as long as, nothing's growing in there.
Yeah.
It should be good.
Because if it's rancid, it'll smell.
Yeah,
won't
it'll
it? Like,
smell.
It won't smell yummy.
Yeah. If
Right,
you
it should.
if it smells like something you don't want to eat, you shouldn't eat it. But
This is
Cool.
beautiful.
yeah, it's gonna just we're just gonna make it a little like wilty and release its juices, and
All right.
it's gonna be good. I don't know. All right. I have one of those. Yeah. Other way.
She's got personality, this one.
Thank you.
The thing I love about something like that is when you cook the tomatoes, it's almost not, doesn't have to be as seasonal because they're going to be delicious no matter what. Like,
Yeah.
you cook them like that.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, this can translate to winter really easily, especially given like Elsum has frozen local sweet corn
Yes.
year round, so it can taste the summer year round. Next we're gonna start the polenta, or our sweet corn broth. So gonna get this pot to hopefully like medium high heat. Gonna put quite a bit of a neutral oil, or if you're using butter, that would be fine too. I'm going to use a little garlic oil that I have at work.
Nice.
We use a lot
Garlic
of
oil
it.
is just like you cooked some cloves and oil
Yeah.
and made garlic oil, yeah.
Yeah, we do a lot of garlic confit and then use it for all of our mayo-based sauces, basically, and
Sounds
it
wonderful.
smells really good.
So, and you mentioned that you could do this with frozen corn if you
Yeah.
have frozen corn.
Yeah, I would just drain it a little bit. You can save that water, but just for the sauteing section, so you don't get any crazy splatters
Got
and
it. Okay, yeah.
hurt yourself. But yeah, then we're just gonna throw half of our corn in the recipe in, and then get that sauteing. So once that makes some noises, it'll be good to go. We'll stir it around a bit.
There was a great pro tip I saw recently. I think it's a Molly Boz tip, where it's like a bowl that's a big bowl, and then you have a smaller bowl that you turn upside down, and you just stack that corn in there and go like this to take the kernels off.
Oh, nice.
It worked. I mean, I got some on my counter still, but
I usually do the lay it flat
oh.
method and then just turn it a little bit each time.
And you're cutting this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
The long way along it, but yeah. Bring one out.
Let's try that. All right.
Yeah.
So the corn is like sauteing in there now?
Yeah. At some point, it'll
Who
start.
wants it to be hotter?
I think it's up all the way. Perhaps.
These are tricksy little things.
It feels like it's getting there. There's
Definitely on.
There's things happening.
Definitely happening.
For sure.
Only the best here at Customer.
Yeah. Cool. While it's sauteing, we could start cooking our merguez. Just have merguez crumbles all ready to go.
So tell us about this sausage, where it's from.
Yeah. So this is from Greenfire Farms out of Monticello, Wisconsin. It is a 6th generation family farm, and they have pasture-raised organic lamb, beef, pork, chicken, turkey, eggs,
Nice.
and they deliver to Madison and Verona. So you can order their stuff online and get it to your house.
Nice.
So
And you said
it's pretty
Underground
cool.
Meats is a co-packer for them?
Yeah, they are.
Nice.
So they made this for them, and yeah, I'm excited to use it.
So much beeping. I'm coming.
Okay. Thank you.
Who wants to be heard?
So if people aren't familiar with lamb merguez, if you
Yeah.
haven't had it before, can you describe the flavor profile?
Yeah, so that lamb definitely has like a little funkiness, a little barnyardiness, and so the heavily seasoned sausages version of lamb is like a good gateway lamb for people. Yeah, and the merguez is from North Africa. It has usually some sweet baking spices happening, so usually a little cinnamon or allspice, and then also those smoked paprika and like mild but flavorful spices of garlic, onion. So it's gonna have a nice flavor punch.
Nice.
Amp it up, so it'll be good.
Because my mother is watching at home and
Yeah.
she doesn't do lamb,
Yeah.
substitutes for the sausage would be maybe Italian sausage
Yeah,
or
definitely Italian. I mean, you can check out Meat People and whatever quirky sausage they have in the case. That would be delicious, I'm sure. Chorizo would be really good.
chorizo would be
Yeah,
good.
could put a fried egg on it. Call it breakfast.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be good. Cool. So we're gonna just saute this in a pan to get some crumbles and crumble it up.
This is something you could do in advance if you needed to.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Are there pilot lights happening?
I was gonna say, I think Lauren's got a lighter over here.
Cool.
I got everything.
Nice. Just thinking this one. Nice. Thank
Boom.
you.
All right.
Awesome. Get
So
that
do you need
a little
oil
warm.
in that pan, or because it has enough fat in it, you don't need
It
oil?
should have enough fat.
Nice.
We'll see.
Okay. I
That should be
like that
good.
this is a use for like a sausage or a ground meat because like the seasoning is done for you,
Mhm.
but also ground meat tends to be less expensive, and I always forget about this.
Totally. Yeah, and it's really the sustainable way to eat meat too. 'Cause
Right.
It's like other than the chops or steaks or those prime cuts, sausage is like the way to eat the whole animal and use the whole animal. And yeah, we eat a lot of sausage in our household.
Yeah,
But
so
yeah.
give folks some context. For
Yeah, so my fiance is one of the kitchen manager at Underground Meats, so he makes all this product, and yeah, thanks. So yeah, we use a lot of their products at Settle Down. We have breakfast sausage and their summer sausage. They made like a big deli format just for us, which is great.
Awesome.
And we do like a polka patty sandwich with sauerkraut and mustard. It's really,
Patty.
really delicious. Yeah. Yeah. So this is starting to get a little bit of color, adding more of the corn to it.
So you want it to get a little bit dark? You want to smell it? Like
Yeah,
what hue are you looking for?
I'm looking for that, like that, going from that pale yellow to just like that dark, bright yellow color. And you can kind of smell it too. It kind of releases a little of its corniness into the air.
This is also a good way to use corn, like if you get it from the farm and then you let it like hang out in your fridge for a little bit because you don't get around to cooking it quite so fast. Because
Yeah.
the sugars are is it starch to sugar or sugar to starch? I can't remember what.
Starch, well, sugar to starch.
Sugar
Yeah.
to starch. But this will help sweeten it up,
Yeah,
right?
totally. Yeah, get a little caramelization happening. It'll be good.
So this is such a cool little thing.
Yeah,
You're
it's
adjusting.
really
the heat.
high.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll see. Cool. I'm gonna go over here, and hopefully this is hot and ready to go. I'm gonna use a glove.
Yes, it is. Flame is reliable.
Flame is reliable. Cool. And we're just gonna crumble this up.
So you cut it up a little bit in your containers there, but you're crumbling
Yeah.
it as you go to the pan.
Yeah, just trying to get small, uniform size pieces. Let's see.
For our beautiful vegetarian mushrooms,
Yeah,
would be really good here. You put oyster mushrooms in that was great.
Vitruvian oyster mushrooms. We use so many at our, at the restaurant. We go through about like 20 to 30 pounds a week of oyster mushrooms. It's crazy.
Okay.
So just boom it.
Okay.
Boom it.
I don't have a microphone on today. Apparently my microphone wasn't working, so I'm gonna do my very best, and I'm so sorry, you guys. But yeah, 20 to 30 pounds of oyster mushrooms apparently each week at Settle Down Tavern, which is
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love them. Cool. So this is looking good. I'm gonna add our water to it. So the 3 parts water, whether it's cups, we're doing quarts for this group. And then we're just gonna bring that up to a simmer. And we're gonna immersion blend it once it's warm again.
So how long does
So
it need to simmer?
It's just bringing it up to get hot again, and to kind of infuse some of the flavor. You could immersion blend it now, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna
Give
wait
it
a
a minute,
second.
okay.
Play around with the lamb. Cool. Yeah.
Where did the idea for this dish come from?
So we had a polenta on the menu this winter, and this is kind of, I was playing around with it. At one point, living in the co-op, I made like a sweet corn tamale, and this kind of always in my head was like, sweet corn polenta, that would work really well, and kind of inspired by like just creamed corn or cornbread, and just trying to bring more of that summer corn flavor to the dish, because I can't get enough of corn in the summer. It's like corn and tomatoes. You have a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And you just have to get your fill. So once you've had the grilled corn on the cob and had that for dinner 3 or 4 times, you should try, like, this is a good one to put in the rotation. Yeah. 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 Oh, wow. Nice. That's awesome.
Comment at home that despite the microphone issues, it's nice to see both enjoying cooking seasonal vegetables. So if you can hear everyone, just put your music on and watch the
Yeah. pepper grinder for a visual component.
Added a lot to tonight's
Yeah.
Making up for it.
Cool. Sweet.
They just arrived today here at Tex-Mex. Oh my gosh, come in here and shop like a chef with Cujo at Tex-Mex.
It's the mag light of pepper grinders. Like, you know what I mean? Like a mag light can be a flashlight or a weapon.
Right. It's definitely put in your kitchen for like
Oh.
conversation starters.
I wonder if it's in the new horror movie, the restaurant horror movie that's coming out.
There's a restaurant.
Yes, yeah, it's coming out like
Very
this
good.
summer.
Menu.
Yeah, the menu and it.
Yeah. It's called The Menu.
Yes.
It looks scary. Like they hunt people.
Yeah, it's like Noma meets like a slasher film.
Great.
It's gonna be great.
And Rob and you together. Stop. I do want to watch The Bear. We just finished that. I've enjoyed it. That
It was
first
good.
season.
I had to not watch it on certain days of the week, but
I hear, I mean,
It's
the
a little-
parts were hectic.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
the tickets are printing. It's like,
my God,
sometimes
that
I don't
episode.
need the.
that, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, we're just putting some color on the side.
Yeah.
You're cooking it through. You
Yeah.
want it to be.
Breaking it down into tiny crumbles. This is kind of just going to be like a meat garnish to our dish. So
Meat garnish.
yeah, it's not the star. It's just the accompaniment to the seasonal vegetables,
I
which
love
is how I like meat in the summer. It's want to be just
Yeah.
adding to it, additive.
So I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about how
Yeah.
you developed the menu at the Settle Down,
Ooh.
specifically because you're working with tavern food, but you're
Yeah.
also working with obviously local vegetables.
Yeah. So I definitely worked really hard with the owners to develop the menu. We did a lot of tastings to figure out a lot of arguments, a lot of tastings. What's the best burger? It was really important to me that we used a lot of local produce and local proteins and making everything from scratch. Like that's important to me. And so it was kind of just like lightening up traditional Wisconsin tavern food. So like the things we all love when we go to a tavern and sit down and want a burger and fries and cheese curds, but just offering a little spin on it. And I think usually lightening things up a little bit, not like leaning too heavily on dairies on every menu item. Like
Because
even
you're
though
lactose intolerant.
I am lactose intolerant, so it's important to me that like everybody can find something to eat at the Settle Down, and everyone can feel comfortable and welcome based on our menu, even just alone. And that's kind of trying to like change tavern culture and just
I love it.
update it a little bit for the.
I have such a hard time ordering anything but the cheeseburger. I've not tried anything else on the menu.
You should try the grain bowl sometime. It's
Okay,
really
grain
good.
bowl,
It's
noted.
it's
I
it's
like
always
to
my
swap in the
favorite.
veggie patty and the good idea burger.
Yeah, that's a
My
pro
move.
move.
Yeah.
That's Charlie's favorite.
Nice.
Cool. So we're gonna immersion blend our cornstalk.
If you don't have an immersion blender, you would wait for it to cool down maybe a little bit and put it in a regular blender.
Yeah. Or yeah. That would be it.
Okay.
Probably before. Don't let it reheat. You could have used cold water and just like poured it in there. And that would be safe. That would be safe and nice.
Safe and nice. This is what
yeah.
I like.
And this is so handy. You should get an immersion blender though. If you don't have one, it's the best tool. You can make sauces, chimichurri, mayos. It comes in handy and it makes it so you don't have to clean another dish. So it's one of my most used things at home. and the restaurant, but. What?
You're looking nice and bubbly and brown.
Okay.
Nice and
It's
bubbly
happening?
and brown with comfy. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Good. Oh, good. Thank you. Cool. So, I'm not going for like perfectly smooth. It can have a little bits, but just to break down some of them. And I did soak the polenta already a little bit. So you can do that for anywhere from 10 minutes to a half hour or hour, whatever you've got.
Why do you soak the polenta? What does that do?
I'm just gonna like speed up the cooking time a little bit because it can take like a full 45 minutes of stirring. I'm hoping this will shorten it up a little bit. And it's supposed to help with the texture too. I haven't done like side by side.
Where is your polenta from?
This is from Hazard Free Farms. They're out of like northern Illinois.
Okay.
But you could also use Meadowlark. They have wonderful products as well. This is just what we use at the restaurant. They have groats, which is what we use in our grain bowl, which is like a local gluten-free grain.
Oh, nice.
So using that is really, I love that product, and we sell a lot of groats and grain bowls. So.
Are groats warm?
No, groats are unrolled oats.
All right.
So they look like farro or barley, like that kind of size and kind of nuttiness even, but they're made of oats, so you don't have to worry about the gluten.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I'm gonna grab a whisk and start the long haul of whisking.
Does it matter how coarse your polenta is?
I don't think so.
Fine,
I think
medium coarse.
it'll impact how your final outcome, but you can use pretty fine ground cornmeal and still get, maybe you wouldn't call it traditional polenta, but it will be like a nice porridge type. It will still be delicious. So, and the same like ratio of water to cornmeal should work.
So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So, is there any salt in this yet?
I salted the corn a little bit.
Okay.
And we're gonna add some more.
Okay.
Add some more now.
I was asking in part because I know, like, if you're cooking something for a little while, it can get saltier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it gets more concentrated?
Yeah, so because it's going to be like boiling off some of that water, I'm salting a little bit as we go, and then definitely going to taste it and salt it at the end. So I think it's a little high, maybe.
Turning up the heat just a little bit?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of whisking. So, you know.
All right, let's do
We're
it.
settling in.
So the thing about polenta that has always kind of made me nervous is the splattering part.
Mm-hmm.
How do you deal with that? Do you just buck up?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can have it at a more cautious temperature if you're not in a hurry. You can have it like just a nice simmer, and then eventually, those splatters. As long as you keep it moving, those bubbles won't get you.
Put a lid on it?
No, I don't think so. No, that's when it gets burned at the bottom and doesn't cook. But
Polenta, so needy.
Could wear a sweater. I don't know. Protect yourself. But I think it can sense your fears, so it's the same with like puppies. We make our cheese curds at work, and that oil just comes up and bites you a little bit, and not if you don't fear it though. It's just part of it.
It's all psychological.
It is. Yeah.
I think about that when I'm cooking in flip-flops, and I think this is stupid. I am making bad choices.
I'm gonna hurt myself. Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna hurt myself.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be my fault.
Closed-toed shoes are good in the kitchen,
Yeah.
but not at home.
How do you know when it's done? What do you look out for?
So,
Question, how do you
yeah.
know when it's done? What are you looking for?
It's going to be really thick and pulling away from the sides of the pan a little bit. And stodgy is the word I would use to describe the texture of it by the end.
It just popped.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
That's
not
a lot.
Apparently everything's fine. I feel like I've made polenta like a few times and I got irritated because of the popping part, but it's so good. And I feel like this corn technique is lovely.
Yeah.
With the
If you're
pop.
scraping constantly, doesn't pop as much.
Yeah, you just have to be
It's just-
on it
Yeah.
and pay attention to it.
All right, I'm gonna check the tomatoes real quick. I heard there was heat happening over here, so. Oh yeah, those look good. Maybe we'll turn down the heat somehow.
Spaceship oven.
I'm gonna whisper to it softly and it's gonna listen.
Maybe like
What would you like it
300. Did I do it? You did it. Are you sure?
I don't know. Let's I'm gonna let just like a little bit. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
open. Let a little bit out.
All right.
What I want to know is if that's like in a professional kitchen, is it doing that every time you open it, like in your?
I'm here.
Hello?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm open.
It's a vocal component.
So when you left that just for a minute,
Yeah,
you turned the
I
heat
turned
down
it
for a little while.
way down. Yeah,
Yeah, so it wouldn't pop
it wouldn't burn you.
badly at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we were saying a little bit before this started, Abra Behrens has a new cookbook out. It's called Grist. She's going to be at this Farm to Flavor event at Garver Feed Mill on
cool.
Sunday, which is really cool. But
Nice.
she's got this cookbook called Grist, and she has a method for cooking polenta where you don't have to stir it this much.
All
I
right.
have not tried it, but she apparently discovered this method when she was working in a restaurant, and she forgot about the polenta, and it turned out okay. It was a lot of water.
Okay.
Like more water, I think.
Yeah.
So the ratio of liquid was different.
Mhm.
But then apparently she just covered it and left it in the back of the stove. You were so skeptical. I love it so much.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it'd be cool.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
like that. That would
Like,
be
it
awesome.
would be nice. Yes.
Yeah.
But I was like, how
Check
did
it
you
out.
discover this? And she was like, well, I was working at a restaurant and I made a mistake, and then it turned out okay.
Nice.
Which apparently does not always happen.
No. I've had bad polenta mistakes that didn't result in a new method, but that's cool. Good for her. No, I'm just kidding.
So added some more water, like left it go. And I was
Yeah,
like, all right.
and you just have, man, that happened like a couple weeks ago, and you just scrub in that pan. But I guess more water. It'll be fine.
I don't know.
Yeah, because this is on our brunch menu right now. We have sweet corn polenta with the tomato confit, crispy mushrooms, and you can stop there, or you can get the fried sunny side egg on top. It's good. It's vegan friendly. It's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, without the egg it is.
Mhm.
Different vegan breakfast items other than avocado.
A vegan
Can't be done, people.
A vegan
Done.
breakfast
Yeah.
breakfast beyond avocado toast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think having those lovely options. I have to have a runny egg in the morning if I'm going to go out for brunch.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to make that for myself at home. It's too lazy. So at home I do what my husband likes to call goopy eggs, which is just means slow scrambles. So they like
Yeah.
they're lovely, like I think they're wonderful. Not goopy, but
Creme fraiche.
the creme fraiche in the eggs, also delicious.
Nice. Goopy eggs.
Looks like you're off.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. Something is in retrograde, everybody.
Yeah. This isn't working now.
It won't burn that way.
This is literally only why I'm here.
Stop.
Alright, so did anything.
Okay.
There it goes. It just turned itself
It
off.
Just got tired.
I feel like Mercury must be in retrograde.
Yeah, it's
because there's mic issues, there's equipment issues. It's nobody's fault. It's Mercury.
Mercury. We do have a question at home from Eleanor. Do you have any advice about how you would know when the polenta is done? Is it just a set amount of time, or are there other visual cues? I think mine looks stodgy, but it's only been 20 minutes, so guessing I'm not there yet.
So if it's pulling away from the sides of the pan, if it's not like when you're dripping it down, it's not like immediately forming back into the rest of it, that should help. Oh yeah, gotta stir faster. Now that there's actually heat.
You're in the splash zone.
Yeah, this is a,
You were kidding. This is normal for polenta.
it'll spit a little bit.
Thank you. I feel justified. I put my sweater on. I put
Put your polenta sweater.
Your
polenta
polenta
sweater.
sweater.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
the color of polenta.
Yes. Yeah, it'll be super thick. It's pulling away.
Stodgy is a visual. Sounds like a visual cue that maybe you want.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
noticed that you're switching arms because
Yeah.
otherwise, like one arm would get like massive. You know?
Just gets tired. Yeah.
I worked scooping ice cream. Like I scooped ice cream for a summer, and my right arm was like real strong, and my left arm was just this like weak baby arm.
Yeah, you got it.
It's weird.
Yeah, we have a pudding on the menu at Settle Down. And so it's kind of the same with that. Everyone thinks they're done. And I come over and I'm like, you're not done yet. So you're not done yet. It's like, I feel like it'll look like ready to go polenta when it's done. It'll pour it into a bowl and not spread to the whole consistency of the bowl, not be super runny.
Carol at home said, I made a polenta once at the National Gourmet Institute and misread the instructions, but as a result, mine got voted best. I didn't tell them I went off the book.
Nice.
Cool story.
That's good. Yeah.
Carol.
How'd you go off the book?
Is it the no boil or
Misread the instructions.
no stir?
I mean, I just love the idea of something that's like, whoops, whatever, and then it turns out well.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Just the best case scenario.
Yeah. Mercury was not in retrograde that day.
A happy accident.
So,
I also love things like this, the tomato confit, like being able to just like throw a bunch of olive oil and some garlic and some stuff, and then just be like, see ya. I'm not gonna worry about you for a minute.
yeah, and you're gonna be delicious when
Love
I
it.
come
You're gonna
back
be
to you.
delicious. This massive, massive rosemary. When we lived in California, people just had like rosemary bushes just like in their yards that were like this tall. And I'm like, I can't conceive of this. I'm so Midwestern.
Carol came in
That's
with
awesome.
the response.
All right.
Mine was, I guess, more flavorful and crispy because I made only one batch out of what was supposed to be two. Double flavor and double crispy.
All right.
Love it.
Nice.
The cool thing about polenta too is that you can have like this lovely porridgey kind of style, right? But then you can also put it in a pan and let it cool.
Yeah, or bake it a little bit to draw out even more moisture. But yeah, even the leftovers, if you cool them in a pan, you can slice them up and grill it. Be really delicious, or just sear it on a pan, just in case it sticks and you have a sad time. But
Chris
yeah.
says at home, is it similar to making a puff pastry?
What part?
Polenta
Pastry? Polenta?
The whole
I don't know.
Just let
No,
us know
I
which
don't know.
part you're referring to. The stirring or
Well, puff pastry is folding.
Yeah, it's a
Very
lot of
lot.
folding
Yeah.
of
Folding.
croissant
Folding.
dough,
The
basically.
croissant dough is folding.
so maybe the consistent folding and the consistent stirring. She's asking if it's similar.
It's an upper body workout as
Yeah.
well.
Okay.
So I'm working on a project with Francesco Mangiano from Papavero, and we're working on the different recipes, including the budino, which is the butterscotch pudding at Papavero, which is like iconic and people obsessed with it. But one of the things that's interesting is, first of all, crap ton of butter in that thing. It's amazing. That's why it's so good. But also, you can use a KitchenAid mixer.
Oh, nice.
And then the mixer does this part.
Nice. Because it heats the bowl too, probably. Do they have the heated
yeah.
kind? That's awesome.
So I still have to figure out, I'm going to be testing stuff at home, which I haven't started doing yet. We're still like getting the recipes all done. But like that's one where I'm just sort of like, okay, so how much does this make?
Yeah.
Because 3
a
ounces
lot
of
of pudding.
budino is
Yeah.
a good amount.
Uh-huh.
And then you are fine.
You gotta watch out for the splatters also.
Yes.
It's another splatter situation.
All right,
Cool.
that is still on, yes? I haven't made it turn off. Nope, they are brown.
Cool. I'm gonna pull them.
Doing what it's doing.
The other way to test it is to taste it. See if it tastes hydrated or if it's still like dry kernels.
Yeah. Dry kernels does sound unpleasant.
Mm-hmm. That's getting there.
All
Not
right.
there. It needs salt. I'm gonna pull these from the oven. Aha, I did it right.
Under.
Uh, Cool. Yeah, those look nice. Should I put them over here?
Or you can just go up on here if you want.
Okay, no. Thank you.
Oh, do you want to show them what it looks like though real quick?
Yeah. It's got a little color on them. They've released a lot of their juices. Looks good. Looks tasty.
Caramelized kind of here on the top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
gorgeous.
nice. Yeah. All right. Back to the stirring. And a little salt.
You know, this is like a good thing to do where you're like listening to a podcast.
Totally. Yeah.
Or some music. I don't know, how the kitchen at the Settle Down, do you do music? Do you do podcasts? Do you do silence? Like in Sardine where it's like silent there?
We do music.
Nice.
Yeah. Not usually podcasts. It's not quiet enough.
What kind of music?
Like everything. I don't know. Depends who has control over it. Definitely. I like soul music on Saturdays is what I put on. Yeah. But a lot of different. Some French. Some.
Ooh.
I don't know. Yeah. Lots of fun things.
Yeah.
It's fun. You learn things about people and by the music that they listen to and put on. It's fun.
I think that's true. I used to like to listen to like Latin pop and like dance in my kitchen while I was cooking.
Nice.
I did that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. This is getting really close. You can tell because it gets really hard to stir.
And you're rewarded for stirring for a long
Yes,
time.
yeah.
By getting harder to stir.
Yes, yeah. Your arm's getting tired, and then the hardest part's yet to come.
I do feel like if you had like a 12-year-old kid, and you're like, hey, buddy.
With a sweater.
Yeah, with a sweater. Like, here you go.
Yeah.
You
And
wanna
then they
help?
forget what they're doing.
They walk away.
So is that a spatula?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're getting close enough, I think.
I need to be about a foot taller than I am.
Yeah. But when I'm at home, it's definitely podcasts.
Nice.
That's the one.
Carol, who had the awesome
Amazing,
polenta,
successful, yeah.
She says the Willie Street Co-op used to offer a volunteer in exchange for a discount program, and I worked in the bakery. The music there was too aggressive for my taste, but as a temp and a volunteer, I had no say. So thank you, Carol. That was great.
Yeah.
Music makes a huge difference. In the
Yeah.
tenor of a kitchen, like, I think it makes a huge difference.
And it's usually the person washing the dishes gets the say.
I like
That's
that.
it's a rule in our kitchen. So. You're,
I worked at a kitchen and it was like almost solid metal.
Ooh, so Lauren worked in the kitchen with solid metal.
And it did not help the stress factor.
No.
Metal music does not help the stress factor in a busy kitchen.
No. Yeah, one of the first kitchens I worked in was like death metal, like all the time.
Oh, God.
It's like, no. That's my one rule is when people say, hey, can I play music? I'm like, yeah, as long as it's not angry. No angry music. It can be whatever genre. If it was upbeat metal, it can be fine. But like, but no, we don't need that
be mad.
energy.
Sing positive things.
Exactly. It will taste better.
So you're kind of salting as you go here.
Yeah, it needs a little bit. I'm not afraid of too much. I think we're pretty far away.
I think a lot of home cooks, myself included, are nervous about too much salt and too much fat, which is part of why restaurant food is delicious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Salt is important.
Carol has another story. You guys ready?
Yeah.
She's so fancy. I like her name. I did dishes at Von Foss sometimes and was able to listen to my own music and it paid decent, so it was okay.
Nice.
But I have a global crime ring targeting me as they messed with pretty much all my oh no, it doesn't sound good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's all right. Well, Carol, that's awful. But we're glad. We're glad.
But you got to play your own music.
You got to play your own music.
Oh,
Yeah. That's amazing. Sorry, guys.
Carol's had a lot of adventures.
It smells amazing. The tomatoes smell so lovely already. Like, I'm excited about that.
Very good.
What is your kosher salt brand choice?
Diamond crystal.
Diamond crystal.
Yeah.
Diamond crystal kosher salt, ride or die.
Yeah. It's gotta be.
Alright.
Cool.
So it's looking good?
Yeah. It's getting there.
Pretty
Definitely.
meditative.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think this is there. We'll just turn off the heat, let it cool a little bit so we don't scald our faces. But I think we can start bowling things up.
Nice. All right, do you have a plate?
I've got some
Ooh,
right
all
here.
right, beautiful. Already there. You're amazing, Lauren. Already prepped and ready here. So.
Yeah, we're gonna do the polenta first, and then.
And so you have a little bit of goat cheese crumbled here.
Yeah, some Dream Farm Chev ready to go. That's gonna be delicious. And then we got some fresh basil. I'm gonna tear some of that up on top as well.
Nice.
I know.
This really does feel like a formula that you could play with in terms of
Totally.
like, what you're topping it with,
Yeah.
what herbs you use too.
Yeah, I think if you go in this like chorizo area, you could do cilantro, maybe do a chimichurri on top as well or something. That'd be really fun.
Italian sausage, you could do parsley or something like that. Or even
Oregano,
mint.
yeah, be good.
Yeah.
It's versatile.
Bless you.
Bless you. All right, I'm gonna taste for salt and see. More. I had a friend of mine make me like one of those hand stitch things that you hang.
Like a little embroidered sampler.
Yes, yeah. It says needs more salt because that's was always what I say to.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a good gift
Yeah.
though. I love it.
Needs more salt.
Needs more salt.
She'd always have me try things, and that was usually my response. Needs more salt. Cool. I'm gonna do the
I
back of
noticed
this
that you're
spoon.
making this in a pot that has really, really high sides.
Yeah.
Could you do it at something lower, or are you just gonna get more splattered?
I think you want the sides.
Tall sides.
I think you want the
Tall sides.
protection.
Got
Yeah,
it.
tall sides.
I have a big pot like this that I got when the kitchen gallery closed.
Oh yeah.
R.I.P. Kitchen
Yeah.
Gallery. But it was an all-clad and it was on sale. Like big
Nice.
sale.
That's awesome. Is that the space Ancora is in now?
It is.
Okay. It looks so different. It's
On
hard
King
to
Street,
imagine.
So I don't want to forget to talk about the wine that we have tonight. So
yeah.
I know that you probably had a little intro thing, but this Sauterne that MJ picked out is this lovely dessert wine, and I feel like it's going to be delicious because this is going to have like some sweetness that's going to echo the corn, but also some acid. Like I feel like Sauterne has that acidity that I love. It's a little bit juicy. So I love that she's choosing these to go with their recipes, and I'm really pumped about this wine. It's the second time she's chosen a dessert wine, and I'm like, I love the bold choice, and also they're both delicious. Like,
cool.
So good. So I'm excited about this.
That's awesome.
You have to say what I said to Beck, where I was like, is that for each person gets one of those?
No, so because it is a fortified wine, it's going to be higher in alcohol. You only going to want like this much of it, which is part of why I was pouring out red. Or I had my husband pour red. So this is actually 13% by volume. It's not as high. I thought it was fortified, but it's still a dessert wine. It's that noble rot that's going to give it that like the botrytis, you know?
Yeah,
It's
that's awesome.
sweet deliciousness.
A lot of flavor. Don't need a lot of volume.
Yes, tons of flavor, not a ton of volume. I also think that this goes better with most like actual dessert things than like port does even, or even like sherry, although sherry is delicious with desserts, but I like something like acid.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Acidity is important.
Yes.
You gotta lighten things up.
And pro acidity.
Cool.
So okay, so to plate these.
Ooh, actually, we have to stir in our final sweet
our
corn.
So once the polenta is done,
yeah.
that's when the rest of the corn goes in.
Yeah, the rest of the corn goes in just at the end, and that kind of residual heat is gonna help just cook it slightly because it's so sweet. Raw, you don't need you don't need much heat on it. And I like that little crunch of like the fresh sweet corn in there.
The textural.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. Cool. So we're gonna ladle it up and then tap it. How many are we?
I eat all my sweet corn raw. I don't even cook it.
Yeah, it doesn't need it.
With me like a banana because it has its own little carrying case. Like a little snack.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you for saying the stuff about the wine, Lindsay. Because what I didn't say in the beginning. Usually we show a video from Leopold's, our wine pairing sponsor, where MJ Hecox will tell people at home about the wine that's featured. We didn't get a chance to show that tonight, so we're going to email everybody the video so you guys can learn more about the wine straight from MJ.
Yeah, it's just a lovely choice, and I'm really happy with it. Thank you, MJ, if you see this later. It's really cool. And Leopold's has a bunch of cool fortified wines and dessert wines and things like that.
Yeah.
Among other things, they got a whole wine situation, you know? So anyway.
Haven't been there yet.
Yes, of course. I love that you can see like the texture in this. Like I feel like a lot of times polenta is just sort of one color, but this has like little nubbins of brown.
Yeah. It's their rainbow polenta.
Nice.
So it's like rainbow corn. And it's what we use for our cheese curd batter because it's a hush puppy batter, which makes it gluten-free.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where do you get your cheese curds?
We get them from Cedar Grove.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
We're just writing a story about some dairy drama.
I know. I read it.
I was like, this is the most Wisconsin story ever. Like, peak Wisconsin.
Uh-huh. It's got drama, got twists and turns. Yeah.
So if you are, a vegan queen, you could skip the cheese.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Skip the cheese, skip the
use
meat.
that neutral oil. Yeah, and skip the meat. Do mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very special night. I
Yeah.
get to eat.
Lauren gets to eat. She's thrilled.
How many are we doing? I don't know. Probably. I'll just do all these bowls and then tap them.
All right. So let's just plate one up so they
Okey-doke.
can get a quick
Sweet.
video of it.
All right.
And serve everybody else.
Yeah.
Never.
One, and they get a video, and then the rest.
Sweet.
It's actually not that hot anymore.
little sweet cheese.
Ooh, okay.
It's bowl
This
food.
looks so like comforting and lovely.
Yeah.
I feel like oftentimes in the summertime I'm eating a lot of things that are cold, like salad.
Mm,
So it's really nice to have something warm.
Yeah.
And a
Yeah.
great fall transition dish as well. That's why I
Totally.
rush fall or anything.
Yeah.
But a good transitional dish.
Mhm.
There are trees
For sure.
around the Capitol Square turning already. They were
No,
gold.
no, no.
Oh my
no.
goodness.
Just go in the night, chop all the branches down. We don't want to see it.
We're not ready.
Awesome. That's what we're gonna.
Helen is watching
and
at
have
home.
it.
Helen, that's my middle name. Shout out to Helen. They said I'll be making that with modifications as you've suggested. Thank you.
Nice. Oh, awesome.
Isn't that
That's
gorgeous?
great.
Look at
Yeah.
the color.
So good.
Just for you to see it. All right.
Ah, looks good. Round of
Cool.
applause for Chef.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for
Yeah,
this. I really
thank you.
appreciate it.
It was fun. Thanks.
Yeah.
And it didn't get burned or splattered.
no, nobody got splattered.
Nobody got hurt.
So,
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll let Chelsea take us home.
Cool.
Yay! Bruce, who's also watching at home, said it looks amazing. If you guys cooking at home take any photos or video of your dish and you post it on social media, make sure you tag the Cap Times and we will share it. Got this right here, right ahead. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. We want to thank our sponsors once more. We've got our official kitchen sponsor, Kessenix, where we are tonight, and our official wine pairing sponsor, Leopold's Books Bar Cafe. They help make this series possible, and we can do it every single month, in addition to the support we get from our Cap Times members who give any amount to support our newsroom and series like this. So we will see you guys in September. It is an official Cap Times Idea Fest event that cooking event will be part of.
Yeah, September 12th.
September 12th.
Yeah.
Like you said, tell them again who's the
Joe
chef.
Kravich from the Harvey House.
I have not dined there yet.
It's
good.
glam.
good.
It's very glam. Yes, it's gorgeous. It's stunning, yeah.
Yay, yay. So join us then, you guys. Again, go to captimesideafest.com. You can register for free for that one, so a little bit different than other months. And thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good night.
Yes, thank
Oh,
you.
Thank you.
I mean, we might as well just keep going.